Hi, this is Kim and Kim, and welcome to Ask Moms podcast.
Welcome back to Ask Moms, the show where we talk parenting, community, and the beautiful chaos behind trying to raise good humans in a very busy world. As we remind everyone, we are not professionals, but we can share our seasoned experience and remind you that you're awesome. If you feel you need professional support, please do not hesitate to reach out to a qualified medical expert. This is the podcast where we cheer for moms, dads, caregivers, kids, everybody, and the incredible people who support our communities.
Yay.
Now, today we are very fortunate to have with us Cathy Janke, Manager of Recreation Programs and Services at the town of Bracebridge. A big welcome, Cathy, and thank you so much for being our guest on Ask Moms.
Yes, welcome, Cathy. We're so happy you're here.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here, and I'm excited to be given the opportunity to tell you about all of the exciting things that are available for kids and families in our community.
Yay.
Can't wait. Awesome.
Yeah. So, Cathy, if you don't mind, please share a little about your journey to becoming Manager of Recreation Programs and Services. We like to kind of ask people, how did you kind of get there?
So I started, as most people in recreation start, as a lifeguard and a swimming instructor and a camp counselor. After I graduated university, I moved back to Bracebridge, where I grew up, and I started working for the town full-time in 2006.
Nice.
Worked with the opening of the Muskoka Lumber Community Center, so that was a really exciting opportunity to start with a blank slate and designing what programs you want and what equipment you need and all that. So that was exciting. And then getting in here and working with the different community groups for community space, how much goes to different sport groups and clubs and how much goes to community programming and how to make that balance work, which is something that we reevaluate every few months. And most recently, I'm the Manager of Recreation Programs and Services, so I oversee all of the recreation programs in both at the Sportsplex and the Muskoka Lumber Community Center.
Wow.
Oh, I'm exhausted just
I was just
listening.
going to say,
Gosh.
how are you still awake?
Summer sounds magical in February, and then suddenly it's June, and you're juggling your work schedules, camps, swimming lessons, sports, groceries, and somehow trying to create childhood memories at the same time. So the big question becomes, how do we keep the kids active all summer, affordably too? Is that a word? Affordably?
Yep.
Okay. While keeping life balanced for everyone.
I think that as, being a parent myself, you only have 17 summers with your kids, and really less than that when they start working. 2 months to try to fit all of these things in.
Yeah.
Right? And I think sometimes we just try to do too much, and, maybe as a kid you remember this great experience, so you want to make sure you give it to your kids, but then someone else told you about this other great experience, and you want to make sure you give it to your kids. So I think that's, what we're all trying to do the best for our kids.
Exactly.
But, then we end up with everyone's tired and exhausted, and I'm sure everyone's been there where
Spread thin.
I paid money for this trip, kids. Like, you're going to like it and smile.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it, right?
I know.
And I think it's, sometimes just the simplest activities, and kids don't need you to spend a ton of money, and the things that they remember are those times spent with their family, right? So it might be that, I remember having the picnic with my family, or staying up late and watching the stars, or having a campfire. Like, those are the types of things that kids will probably remember more than the trip to the zoo or whatever the case might be, right?
Exactly. Yes.
I agree.
Totally.
Yeah, and I think
agree, Cathy.
going for a
Simple.
hike, going to the beach. Those are the things that kids will remember more.
Building sand castles, all that.
Yeah.
That's such a good point, Cathy, because boredom today feels almost like we're neglecting our kids.
Oh, yeah.
It's true. I remember that when my son was young, thinking,
It's a lot of pressure.
I really don't feel like doing it, but if I don't...
Yeah, and I think parents feel like they need to schedule or program everything. It's important. Kids don't need to be programmed.
No.
I'm sure most age people who are parents or older, they would say, what happened in your summer? And they would say, oh, I went on my bike and I came back when the streetlights came on.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
That's a very common... for anyone who's 40 or older, that's the common response of that's what you did in the summer. But for now, and the world has changed, so there's definitely reasons why things are different in safety. Yeah. But no one told me what to do when I was a kid. It was go outside and
and play.
Built a fort. dug up things.
Adventures,
we
imagination.
probably got ourselves into some trouble, but that
Part of
also
learning.
helps problem-solving skills, right? So
Yes,
that's
very good.
the kids have problem-solving skills because, I now did this.
Yeah.
So now how do I fix this?
That's right.
So, the boredom leads to imagination, problem-solving skills, all of those good things that kids need.
Totally. And those are all super huge developmental skills that they can
Okay,
creating.
great.
You don't have to
You
keep
know,
up with the
not
Joneses
overplan
and
everything, like-
social media
Yeah.
and what everybody else is doing. You
Welcome
don't have
to our
to.
programs,
Yeah.
but hey, it's also okay to play outside.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think the other thing that's important is that an element of risk is also good for child development, right? So if you never let a child be in a risky situation, they don't learn that it's risky.
That's right.
So, an example of if a child, every time they walk up to a body of water, they jump in and someone's going to catch them, they never learn that that's not safe. And I'm not saying let your kid jump in the water and let them
Right,
drown,
right.
Yeah.
but it's okay for them to jump in the water and go under for a second before you pick them up so that they learn that this wasn't safe.
There's
right?
a reason.
So there's a lot of good research on playgrounds and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I don't know if you've seen the playground outside the Muskoka Lumber Community Center. It doesn't look like any other playground. There's not a slide. There's not a swing.
No.
There's not a set of monkey bars. It's logs
Yes.
and ropes and things. That's a more natural playground. So it's so that kids can do that imagination and that creative play
Yes.
themselves.
That was really cool.
I
Yeah.
know.
So
I know.
And I mean, even when we were kids, I mean, there's a certain element for parents to say, okay, they're not old enough to do this, or they
Correct.
can't be outside by themselves. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
not to say just throw them outside. It's all age appropriate.
Yeah.
And that might also be a challenge for nowadays parents to even know where that is,
For sure.
right.
right?
Yeah. There's definitely a line, right?
Yeah.
You don't want your child to get hurt.
No.
But,
Or
sometimes.
like you said, you're not letting them go out by the river
Yeah.
by
like,
themselves to say, well, too bad for you. You
Right.
drowned. You should know better.
Right, but they
You know?
need to learn at some point, when my kids were younger, because I was managing a pool, they
Yes.
spent a lot of time in the pool, but they purposely, I didn't always have them in a puddle jumper or a life jacket because they needed, if the kids wear puddle jumpers and life jackets all the time, they think they can swim. Or the bathing suits that you have that have the flotation in it, definitely, yes, it's helpful so kids can swim independently, but if that's all they ever wear, then kids don't understand that if I'm not wearing this, I can't swim.
Right.
Right? So it's
Right.
something, there's a fine balance
yeah.
there where they need to understand the difference.
Yeah.
Age
Look at the
appropriately,
depth
of
of her
course.
thinking.
No, that's really
Like
clever.
with all the stuff she's doing, and she's thinking to that depth.
Super important.
Wow.
Swimming is a life skill.
Swimming is definitely a life skill.
Yeah.
Swimming is a life skill. I would say water safety is a more important life skill. Knowing
Yes.
how to be safe around the water is
I like that.
almost a more important life skill
Right.
than the swimming in itself, right?
So you don't end up
Unders-
falling into something.
Yeah,
And
understanding that that's waterfalls and that's that's a current. I shouldn't go there, even though I know how to swim, right? So
Super
even the
scary.
people who don't know how to swim can
Yes.
have good water safety sense.
Yes.
So that's really important that we teach our
well
kids.
said. Give kids a patch of grass, a little imagination, a summer afternoon, and they'll do the rest. What are some realistic options for parents who do need support because they're working or balancing multiple kids?
Yeah. So, obviously everyone doesn't have the flexible schedule to just be at home with the kids.
Right,
And,
yeah.
people require daycare. So we, at the town of Bracebridge, we offer summer camp programs. So we offer programs from kids ages 4 up to age 14.
Awesome.
And they're divided based on age. And then some of them, especially for the older kids, have specific activities. So 1 week might be, we have a robotics camp, for example. So you come and you learn about
Nice.
robotics for half the day.
Yeah.
And then you do other camp activities for the other half. We've got an Adventures in Muskoka camp. We've got a horseback riding camp. So there's a variety of, we've got our cosmic comics. We've got, we have the active ones and then the more passive ones.
Yeah.
Sometimes kids are in camp all summer long, so it gives them a break.
Yeah.
Sometimes they might not be in camp and parents don't need it for daycare, but they still need to break up the monotony of
Yeah.
doing, their own thing all summer. So
Yeah.
they put them we have cooking camp for a week, come to cooking camp for a week. And then we also, for some of the younger ones, have a themed camp. So there's, a Princess and Pirates theme or a wizarding camp. So depending on the kids' interests. So we have those opportunities.
And Theatre Muskoka, too.
Yes, Theatre Muskoka has camps.
Yeah.
Muskoka Limberettes has camps as well. So if your kids are interested in, arts or different things, I know Macaulay Treehouse has camps as well.
Right.
There's a lot of different camp type or day camp type of opportunities around. There's also, for the rec department, we offer swimming lessons. So we offer swimming lessons where maybe you don't need a full day of daycare, but you want some structure. So we go to swimming lessons Monday to Friday just for this week for a half hour. So it gives you some sense of structure. We also have hockey skills programs. So we have got weekly programs for things like that. Yeah. So there's a lot of different kind of structured activities that you can participate in.
So question, so do they go, if their parents are working and they're coming to, I guess, camps for a day or programs for a day, do they come to one facility and then you bus them to different things, or do the parents have to take them and
so
how does that work?
For our day camps, you either start at the Muskoka Lumber Community Center or the Sportsplex, and wherever you start, you finish. And it's based on what different ages we have at different facilities. So the younger kids typically are up at the Sportsplex. The older kids are typically at the Muskoka Lumber Community Center. But it depends on if they're in a specialty camp. If they're in a camp that's rock climbing camp, well, we have a rock wall at the Sportsplex, so we put the camp there. So the parents drop them off and pick them up
at the
same place. And then if we take them to the beach on Friday. So we bus them there. We'll go on a trip. Most Wednesdays we go on a trip somewhere. So we bus them on a trip. So we will bus them around town.
One of my cousins is wheelchair bound.
Yep.
And that, I don't even know what you call it.
The mat that
goes
at
into
Kirby's Beach. Yeah.
That was a godsend.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, because his wheels otherwise would be in the sand, and he went right in with us.
So accessible.
And I believe the whole playground at Kirby's, I believe it's an accessible playground.
But he was older. He's in his 40s. But he just loved the fact that he could actually
go in.
Yeah, go in.
Yeah. Our community is so fortunate with all these programs you guys have put together. And even the gymnastics, they've got a camp too, I believe.
Yeah, gymnastics has a camp and theater has a camp. So at the Sportsplex, we have the town of Bracebridge camps, and then the gymnastics camps, and then the theater camps. So sometimes it's confusing. People show up and they're like, I'm here to get my kid. And then we are like, okay, well, what camp are they in?
Yeah. So, we are so fortunate. Libraries are also super underrated summer survival tools, too. So there's like a whole treasure chest of summer fun waiting to be opened here, too.
Like the videos that you guys are sharing about the library, opening, like renting things. Where we are now, the recordings, like
the 3D
who
printing.
Who knew a library?
I know. Oh, and for the younger ones, so many excellent classes and weeks and
yeah, there's so many programs at the library and things that you wouldn't think the library could do, right? No. Libraries are no longer the quiet read a book place.
That's right.
A hub of activity. And
although saying that, I noticed too that they have little alcoves here and there. And you see people just sitting and relaxing and reading their book.
Exactly. Yeah. The fireplace with the nice easy chairs there.
Yes.
Yeah. Or even, as a parent, your kid's in day camp for the day, you can go to the library all alone by yourself. Wouldn't that be glorious?
Yes. And air conditioning too.
Yeah.
And no bugs.
And then, or rainy days.
Yes.
Something to do on a rainy day. Check out what the library has offered. The recreation department also, we have public swims, we've got public skates, open gyms. So there's things to do if you're not wanting the everyday structured or once a week structured and you're just looking for the drop-in. There's also tons of those activities and opportunities.
Yeah, you don't have anything planned, but everybody's getting antsy. Come to the library.
Yeah.
See what's going
on.
Yeah. So let's talk about the frustration parents feel when programs fill up instantly. I've experienced this firsthand too. Please share with us.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation.
I'm sure.
There's only so many staff. There's only so many programs that we can offer, and everyone wants it on Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Right? It's not.
Yes.
Everyone wants what fits in, and families are so busy.
Yeah.
And if they have multiple kids, and this one's at dance, and that one's at hockey, and this one is doing something else, there's only so much time in the day.
Yeah.
And then we notice that most, I think, in swimming lessons, because then parents realize that swimming is so important.
Yeah.
Kids have to take swimming lessons. So it is a problem that there is no good solution to. We offer whatever we can, having enough staff to offer the programs. And then even if we have enough staff, there's still, our pool's only so big.
Exactly. Yeah. Only so much room.
There's only so much room, and there's only so many hours that realistically work for people.
Oh, for sure.
So, we do the best that we can. The one thing I would say is that what people perhaps don't do enough of is use our waiting lists. So we have waiting lists for all of our programs. if you need a program, go on the waiting list, because then as staff, we know that there's a need there. You know, when we design our schedule, we're guessing, but we don't really know. We look at trends, and you know, last year there was a ton of kids in level 4, so in theory this year there's going to be a bunch of kids in level 5, but we could be wrong on that. So if there's people on a waiting list, then we're able to kind of move some staff around and accommodate more people. So that's the one thing that would be the biggest. You know,
I think that's an excellent point, because there's many times that I just, it's full.
Me too, yes.
And you look for something else.
Right,
But if you go on the waiting list.
Yeah, it's not cut in stone. It shows them that, yes, there's a huge demand for this time in this program. And then if they have anybody and are available to accommodate it, they can add more spots.
They're actually looking at the waiting list.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that, because we don't think that way. So thank you for sharing that. That's huge.
So, hey, good point about sharing staff, right? So even if facilities exist, you still need trained people to run programs safely. Maybe that can be added as a summer program for kids, learning to be a lifeguard or a swimming instructor. Do you have programs like that?
Yeah, we actually do. We have a whole leadership series of summer programming. So we have you sign up for it like a camp.
Right.
So it's a week-long program, but we have some that are counselor and training camp. So kids that might be too old for day camp, but not old enough to work, we can do it. We do a summer counselor and training program. So they do a week of instruction and learning, and then they do a week of volunteering in our camp program, and then with the option to continue volunteering for the remainder of the summer.
Add to your resume too. How else do you get experience?
Yeah, so they learn some basic first aid, they learn about child development and planning activities. So that's, we have those types of programs on the dry side, and then on the aquatic side, we also offer a week-long, the dry side. In the recreation
on
world,
the land.
In our recreation world, we have dry side and wet side. Also on the dry side, we have a week of a babysitting course instructor for a week, and a stay safe, which is like a home alone. So that's for the kids ages 10 or 11 that maybe this year at school, they're going to come home from the bus and be home for an hour by themselves. So it's an at-home alone program. So it teaches them some safety things and things to be at home. So we have those types of programs available. And then on the aquatic side, we run a week-long bronze medallion, a week-long bronze cross. We're running a national lifeguard. So we do them all as like 1 week programs. So
holy smokes,
you can get your certifications. Yeah,
so great.
Oh, there's so many benefits.
So many opportunities.
Well, on the kids, and we also even have kind of pre-certification program. A lot of these certifications, especially for the aquatics, you have to be a certain age. And there's no way around that.
Right.
But we try to offer a junior lifeguard camp. So it's a week long of junior lifeguard stuff. So they're not getting any certification, but they're still learning some skills. And, when we have public swim, they come and they stand beside a lifeguard. So they're learning kind of what it's like. So kids really enjoy that program as well.
Love it.
And that would totally take the stress off of them. Like if they realize at that point they're not getting certified, but they're learning a ton. And then when they're ready to be certified, they have all that background. So they know what to expect.
Yeah.
That's really good for taking away stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we find with youth who volunteer in our programs. So you can volunteer, as I said, in our camp programs. Also in our swimming lesson programs or our aquatic programs, we'll take volunteers in there too. So it's helpful for the instructor to have another set of hands.
Right.
When you have a class of 4 or 6 3-year-olds, the more hands the better, right? The instructor's still there making sure everything is being safe. But then when that individual does get their certification, it's not a scary thing anymore.
Right,
because they've done it, and they've done it beside someone, and they kind of understand a little bit more.
That's
not be
fantastic.
unknown.
Not be unknown. And the same with our camp, right?
And by offering those types of programs, pre-qualification programs, I guess, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Do any of these volunteer hours count as the high school?
So you can only count high school volunteer hours once you've graduated grade 8.
Okay.
Right? So if
That's
they've graduated
Yes.
grade 8, then they can count towards high school volunteer hours.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
Excellent, parents.
Yeah.
Win, win, win.
Yes, that is so great.
your kids have something to do, so they're not sitting around saying I'm bored. They're not staring at their phones
No.
or video games.
Yes.
They're learning some skills, and they're getting volunteer hours.
Wow.
Win-win.
And especially if they're not old enough to get a job yet. So
And it's a social thing too, like you said, not on the phones.
Yeah.
You're out there. You're actually having to make eye contact with people
Yeah.
and speech.
That's huge for mental health, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Like,
phones. Yeah.
how good they feel when they
Yeah.
accomplish something.
Yeah. Be proud
And
of
the
yourself, too.
Yeah, and the stress that's taken away if you ever want to qualify for
Yeah.
something, you know what to expect.
Yeah.
That's amazing, Cathy.
Yeah, and being away from the phones, I think, is. I heard an
Yeah.
interesting stat the other day. How much time of an average lifespan do you think is spent staring at a phone? If you added,
I think this is going to be really upsetting to hear. In years.
Years?
In like how many years of our
years,
lifetime?
and like an average person, age 80 to 85,
Okay.
will have spent 16 years staring at a phone.
Oh, I was not
Oh
expecting
my
that.
gosh.
16 years.
Correct. On an average person.
Can you imagine what we could have accomplished if we weren't doing that?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And that's like
Oh.
16 years of like awake and sleep. So really
Yes.
like 32 years of awake time.
Oh my gosh.
And then add in all the sleep time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've
It's an interesting stat I heard
We
recently.
could have been teaching people to swim, to ride horses, to cook.
you could learn a skill, you could learn a new
Oh my
language.
gosh.
Unless you're learning a new language on your phone. But
Well,
okay.
anyways,
It's a little scary.
Yes. Yeah, I appreciate hearing that though. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank
Cathy.
you.
We really appreciate you.
thanks for
And
And
having
your
me.
team.
And my
Yes.
team.
For everything recreation staff, do behind the scenes for families and communities. So, yes, we
amen.
do appreciate that.
Yes.
To our Ask Mom listeners, so I think it's fair to say that pre-planning is key for summer programs, but yet again, being outside at your local park, beach, or even backyards are creating memories while still getting exercise. If this episode made you laugh, cry, or feel just less alone in your carpool chaos, please share it with another parent who needs it. Cathy, is there a closing statement that you would like to make?
If we can all just give ourselves the permission to slow down a little bit and maybe sometimes just check ourselves if we're feeling busy and stressed, then, you know, maybe our kids are as well. Maybe that's an opportunity that, you know, everyone needs a mental health day today, or,
yeah.
you know, we all just need to pick up and go to the beach for a picnic dinner of pizza, and that's okay, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, there's nothing wrong with eating a box of pizza beside the beach with
Yeah.
some sand in it. Everyone's going to be fine tomorrow.
Yeah, probably fiber or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah. So check in with ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Good
that.
point.
Yes.
Thank you for that. And thank you for tuning in. Please connect with us at askmomstoday@gmail.com. You can also find us on YouTube and Hunters Bay Radio 88.7 on the dial, or www.muskokaradio.com. As always, we hope we've helped you feel empowered, heard, and supported, especially supported. And please remember, moms, dads, kids, we know you do your best, and you're not alone. So until next time, please take care of yourself and others when you can.
You've got this.